Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
How you feeling?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing really good today on this Friday the 13th, you know.
Fridays are my favorite days.
They have become mine because now over the weekend, I feel like I get a chance to really prepare and plan for a strong week of news and everything and go down the line. Yeah, I got a routine now.
That's good.
So, for our listeners and our viewers, let us know who you are and where you're from.
Well, my name is Stacy Soldana. I'm from I was born in Joliet, Illinois, but I grew up in Oswego, Illinois my whole life.
Okay.
So, from Oswego.
All right, from Oswego.
From Oswego, but born in Joliet. But I've lived in Oklahoma, I've lived in Virginia, but I'm in Montgomery right now, so.
I lived in Oklahoma for 6 months of my life once upon a time, way back in Tulsa.
Oh, okay.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I was in Norfolk, Virginia when I was in the military, but I lived in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
When I lived in Oklahoma and Edmond. I actually graduated from high school, from Edmond North High School.
In Oklahoma?
In Oklahoma, yes.
What was that like? You're the first Oklahoman with any Oklahoma background on the show.
Well, I liked it. I mean, it was very different from what I was used to. My mom ended up sending me there because, you know, when you're a young girl and, you know, me and my mom used to bump heads a lot. So I went to go
kind of a
stay
normal
with my
thing
aunt.
with moms?
You know, that's my best friend now. I love her. Look, we have to talk to each other probably 5 times a day now.
Right.
So anytime I talk with someone, they say they're having problems with their daughters, you know, I always encourage them, like, you know, things will get better, it'll change, because just growing up with my mom, it was a little challenging. And now, you know, as an adult, you see that your parents really trying to protect you.
Right.
And I think my mom was, like, really overprotective, and as a young girl, I was just kind of a little rebellious against her. So I went to go stay with my aunt in Oklahoma, and I loved it. I loved it. I had a great time. I met so many people I still talk to today. I just got to try a lot of things. Like, my mom was overbearing, and then I went to Oklahoma and I felt like I was like, woo, I'm free. I got to just get into too much of stuff.
Did you like the flow?
I liked
was
it.
that what you?
I liked Oklahoma. I liked it.
Because it's definitely that southern feel.
Yeah. I don't know. I got along with everyone. I like the accent. Come over her. Come on, girl. Or, you know, come stay her. You know. So, but I met I met a lot of good people, and I had fun. I enjoyed the experience.
Good. All right. So, graduated from high school in Edmond, Oklahoma.
Yes.
What came next?
After high school, so my mom was like, she worked in a nursing home.
Okay.
As a little girl, I saw her in a nursing home all the time, helping people, you know, taking care of the elderly. So I was like, okay, I want to be a nurse.
You stayed in Oklahoma?
No. I came back, but I'm just saying where the idea came from. I wanted to be a nurse.
Understood.
Since I was a little girl, like, because I saw my mom always, like, working at the nursing homes, and sometimes she would take me with her. So I was like, okay, I want to be a nurse like my mom. She's helping people, you know, giving medicine, taking care of them. So I wanted to be a nurse. So after high school, I moved back to Illinois. I went to Wabansie Community College, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be a nurse. And then I was like, my friends were in the program, and they were like, oh, you got to work on, you know, dead bodies. And, you know, I was like, what? And I was just totally like, I'm not doing it. Like, yeah, you got to draw blood. And I'm like, oh, no. So, yeah.
Not a blood person?
Oh, I got a weak stomach.
Okay.
I would be like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, I would be crying. No, I can't do it. So being a nurse was out of the picture. So that just came to a halt. And then I ended up going to the Navy with my cousin. she talked me into it. She was like, oh, we should go to the Army. And I was like, yeah, let's go to the Army. And then we ended up going to the Navy on the buddy system.
Okay, so okay, because the Navy had the buddy system.
Yes.
Okay, if the Army had the buddy system, you think you would have went to the Army?
Well, we wanted to go to the Army, and the recruiter was like, well, in the Navy you have more choices. Like when you take the testing, it opens the door for more job opportunities. And so they were like, if you go to the Army, they'll just pick your job. I don't know if they just told us that, but they were like, if you go to the Navy, you can pick what job you want to be.
Right.
So
we can pick, or you can pick. Right.
They gave us the option, then we picked. So I scored really high, like in math and science. So they offered me like electrician's mate. So I was electrician's mate in the Navy.
EMs?
EM.
All right.
EM3 I ended, from 1998. I graduated in 1997. So I went into the military in 1998 till 2002. And my cousin, she did not make it out of boot camp. So she had asthma, and she basically talked me into going to the military, and she had asthma, and she got sent home.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh, no, you got me in this buddy system, and you left me. So, yeah, my buddy left me. But it was great because on the ship, I ended up meeting my current husband now. So, and we met on the boat, and we have a bunch of kids together. So,
what ship?
The USS Karen. It's a DDG destroyer. It's a destroyer ship. The USS Karen, stationed in Norfolk, Virginia.
All right.
But it's decommissioned now, though.
So you're back here in Illinois when you joined. Now you're going to Norfolk, Virginia. What was that like?
As a young girl, I don't even realize how large the earth is and how big the world is and where everyone came from. Like when I was in the military, I saw this black girl speaking Spanish, and I was like, why is she speaking Spanish? Then she told me she's from the Dominican. I had no clue. And I was just like, oh my gosh, my mind is so, like, I don't realize how big the world is. And so I just had a, like, I don't know, I think I was really shocked because the guy that picked me up from the airport, he was like, we're getting ready to go to the ship. I'm like, what? You're taking me to a ship?
Right.
I'm joining the Navy, and I'm like, you're taking me to a ship. Like,
you still don't get it.
I don't get it yet. And so, it was interesting. When I went to the military, I first had to do electrical school for 9 months.
So after boot camp, you went to the school. Okay.
And that was in Great Lakes, Illinois. So I just was in Illinois for like almost a whole year of the military, and I kept going home to visit my mom and spend time with my family, catch the train on the weekends, and go back and forth. So I enjoyed electrical school. It's very extremely hard. Going to Virginia was a new experience. It's very cool, like to go on base and just see all these ships lined up on the pier. Just boom, 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 all these ships. It was just like, wow.
I was stationed in California. I had that moment.
Yeah.
I had that moment too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I got there. I was like, oh my God.
like, what am I doing here?
Yeah, like, holy.
Were you really young too when you joined?
Yeah, I was like 21. I turned 21 in boot camp, actually.
Oh, okay.
So by the time I got to the fleet, went to seamanship school right after boot camp.
Okay.
6 months, and then went, 2 months, and then went to the fleet. But my ship was out to sea. So I was on the dry side, just like in the barracks and everything, for like, I think maybe 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then a short Filipino dude came and picked me up and drove me to the wet side where the pier is.
Okay.
And that's when I had my holy God moment.
It was really weird on my boat too, because my ship was like all male ship. So when I got there, I was only the second girl there.
Wow.
So when there was only one other girl there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was interesting to be like around a lot of guys on this boat, and you're like, oh my gosh, where are the girls?
I was on an all male ship, and then I got into an accident. I got into a car accident real bad. And then so my ship went out to sea, so I had to do some temporary duty, some limb due on a on a carrier, which didn't go out to sea, just for like a couple of months, and that was my first time around a co-ed, in a co-ed division.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Very cool. Shipmates.
Yeah, seriously. All right, So you're stationed in Norfolk. Now, you've done a lot of traveling in your life already by this point. You started off in Joliet, then Oswego, then Oklahoma, then back to Illinois. Now you're in Virginia. Tell me about how you feel as a new sailor, and what is leadership? What's that looking like? Because now everything has changed for you. Now you're adapting to like life on a ship in Virginia.
Yeah.
What's Stacy like? What's your everyday like?
Well, it was.
I know it's like in the Navy, but your motivation.
Adjusting to being told what to do, like rarely, like you live on a boat, and so they're waking you up every morning. But it was really cool because when you did get up, you could go right to the galley and eat. Like they're serving you food. Like you can order what you want every morning, which was cool because I always get like an omelet with ham and.
It's literally a buffet every morning.
Yeah, I was like, this is fun. And then you're hanging out with you make friends on the ship, of course. And so you get to sit and hang out with your friends till it's time to go to work. And after work, you're at home. You wake up. Your boat becomes your home.
Right.
Like to me, like I wasn't crazy about the racks because they're so small. They're so small, and the bedding is probably maybe 3 inches, maybe if that.
Yeah, and it's janky. Like it's not like Serta-Ceta Posturepedic.
It's not like a Tempur-Pedic conform to your body. It's like that little mat that's like you just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
But I was used to having a lot of stuff, and then like being on the ship, you have to reduce, and because like you're only living out of your rack. Like you lift your rack up, and your stuff is there. So it was just different. You realize you don't need all the stuff you have anyway. Like you have a limited space, you have limited things, you have like they give you like a little bit of closet space. So I really didn't have a lot. I'm used to, you like girls like a lot of stuff. I like a lot of clothes. I remember in boot camp they took all my stuff. I'm like, oh, you're taking my hair stuff, my brushes. So I'm like, I was just, it was different change. It was a change. But far as leadership, I met some really good leaders in my life in the Navy that I still keep in contact with now. I remember Chief Simpson. He was really good leader for the electrician shop. EM2 Pool, he was really cool. He's a great person, helped me out a lot. I just had a lot of good people guide me and teach me. Chief Washington too, I think she ended up being a master chief, but she's retired now. But she was EM1, I think, a EM1 Washington, and I was like a E2 Washington, So it was like, she was Big Wash and I was Little Wash.
Yeah.
So and she just took me under her wings, and, they had us doing some scary stuff out in the Navy on the ship, like the fueling. Do you remember?
Unreps?
Yeah. Yeah, where you pull
the
up
two
to
boats,
the ship and get the oil.
Oh, yeah.
That was so, like, dangerous.
It was, and actually, that's the first time that I ever got, so I was, like, seasick when we pulled out for days, and then we had to unrep, and I was on the phone, and my arms went numb.
Oh, my gosh. What was your job when the ship pulled out to sea? What was your job?
So, I struck bosun mate. I became a bosun mate, so I was a deck seaman to start off with. So our job was to do everything. We got the boat out to sea. Sea and anchor detail for us was testing the anchor. That's
where my job was.
Yeah.
I was in anchor windlass.
Okay, so we were the guys.
Tell me when to let the anchor up.
We're on the forecastle talking to y'all.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all that. But then also when it came to unreps, what we did was we ran the phone and distance line, which, as you know, is the guys on the aft. They look and they see like what colors on the flags, and that's the distance that they can tell how far we are apart.
Okay.
And we just basically help the signalmen learn when it's time to fuel. I mean, their parts are much more detailed than ours. Okay. But when we got to sea, we bring it in, moor us to the pier, unmoor us to the pier, and go. And then you spend the rest of your day before you become a bosun mate, you spend the rest of your day painting anything that moves,
Yes.
taking on
Remember
stores.
painting so much.
Yeah, I was on a frigate. I was on an FFG, so we had a helo that was out with us when we did drug ops, because we stopped drug boats coming to the United States.
Wow.
That's what my ship did. So when the helo goes out, then we man support for like the flight deck.
Oh, okay.
You know, stuff
Very
like
cool.
that.
My husband was a gunner's mate, so he'd be the one shooting the gun across.
So when we
Pulling that.
catch drug boats, we lowered down the rip boat for the Coast Guard. We had a Coast Guard detachment of 6 men on my boat.
Oh, okay.
We lowered them down. They go board the vessel. They take the guys off.
Oh,
they take the
wow.
drugs off, and then we, in conjunction with gunner's mates,
Okay.
destroy the vessel.
Oh, wow.
And
That's awesome. I know that was awesome.
Come on, they bring out the guns. See, we don't have access to that. Yeah, that was really cool.
Now those guns, when they were shot, it was just like boom.
The whole ship.
Shakes.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, this is a fun episode. I don't get to chop up stories like this. Is fun.
I was like in charge of tool issue, and I mean when they would shoot those guns, like my tools would be falling off the walls.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, no.
Right.
It's so loud. You have to put some ear gear on. Oh my goodness.
Now I was able to go down. So like we call it the spaces.
Okay.
In the boat.
Yeah.
So like if we have to go ask an electrician's mate something, or the fireman, the engine men, then we have to go into the spaces and holler at y'all. But it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Okay, you met leaders. Big Wash. You were Little Wash in the Navy. Now you wanted to be a nurse when you were younger. Blood went your way. You joined the buddy system. Do you want to be a nurse maybe now? Because are you realizing that, are you thinking about staying in the Navy forever?
Never.
Okay, so right?
I'm not good with following the rules. I'm like always like a rule breaker, not on purpose. But like, you know, I really had a hard time like remembering all the ranks.
I did
and
too.
remembering like when to stand up, when to salute. Like I used to get yelled all the time, sailor salute me. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like my bad, Lieutenant.
I'm sorry. Like I could not keep up. I was like, this is not for me. I get in trouble. Like I remember getting in trouble for wearing lipstick that had a two-toned. Like I don't know if they were picking on me. Like, Washington, your lipstick has 2 colors on. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then, you know, I like to wear my hair down. It was long. You have to keep it cut. Had to keep it in a bun. So I was just like, yeah, this is not going to be forever for me.
All right.
Yeah, it was not. I knew 4 years. I'm just going to do my 4 years. And I mean, it was awesome because you get so many benefits from being in the military. We still get, you know, you can go to the VA whenever you want for medical, anything with your health, and it's been able to pay all of my college. I'm very grateful.
Right.
I'm glad that I went. It was a great experience. I got to travel so many places. It was. I don't have any regrets at all.
That was my next. Where did you go? Where'd you travel to?
So we went to so many places. I remember going to St. Thomas. That was very fun. We went to Florida. We went to Turkey, Spain, France. We just went over a lot of places. Like we were supposed to go. Do you remember that explosion that happened in Yemen?
The USS Cole.
Yes.
Yep.
We were on our way to where they were at.
Wow.
And we had to turn around because of that explosion. But we were going through the Red Sea, and we were just hitting all the places. We went to Turkey.
Right.
I think we were supposed to stop in Africa too. Like we were just traveling, and everything we were on our med cruise.
Right.
And so because of that, we had to turn around.
Yeah, I've had friends who've done the med cruise, and I've had friends who've been Navy, been to the Red Sea. I think Djibouti is like one of the stops over there, something like that. But yeah, the USS Cole, that was one of the parts of our basic training. They had made, that was a scenario in like the final day part where you have to like put a dummy on a stretcher and then take it through the spaces of a ship that's, because a mine, if I'm not mistaken, there was a mine that hit the side of the ship when it was in port, I think.
No. There was actually, from my understanding, some terrorists. They were on a ship, and they were on a ship waving, like, and they
rammed into it. Okay. Yeah.
They crashed in purpose and blew up, you
Wow.
know, part of the boat on purpose. And so you see someone on a boat just, you know, waving at you friendly. You don't think that they're going to come and blow you up.
Because
So,
over there, that's the norm. These little
Yeah.
miscellaneous fishermen
Yeah.
doing their little thing. Yeah, it's a poor country. Fishing is the industry.
And some of my friends were on that ship too when that happened. Like, because, you know, you get moved around different places while
Right.
you're in the military. So, yeah, I remember one of my friends, like, lost their hearing. Some of them lost their legs. You know, some died. And then they recommissioned it and, you know, they rebuilt the boat. And some of our, my friends, they went to the USS Cole to, you know, and then they were like creeped out about it, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So you went to some amazing places.
Yes.
Great places. Now, so you, after these places that you go to and after your term of service, this is what I want. Did you think about staying in Virginia? Was there ever any thought? Okay.
Never.
Okay. Because I was
Well, my
stationed in San
husband's
Diego.
from
People asked me
Chicago.
that today.
My husband's from Chicago.
Okay.
And I'm from, you know, we're both from Illinois. And so it was really a no-brainer of we both got out at the same time. But I think he was out a year before me. So he stayed with me in Virginia, working at somewhere in Virginia, like at a car shop or something. But yeah, he got out 1 year before me, but he's from Chicago, so it was easy to say, okay, let's go back to Illinois.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I get that a lot. What made you come back to? Why'd you leave California? Because like it wasn't for me, man. Like I already knew I was gonna come back.
Oh, okay.
All right. So now, and we'll fill in the gaps to this. You are an author
Yeah.
of 7 books.
Yes.
The most recent of which is Built Strong on Purpose.
Well, actually, no, my Built Strong on Purpose is my first baby.
Okay.
That, I wrote that book in 2014, published in 2016. So it took me like 2 years to write. That was my first book. And then my last recent book is this one. Micah's Mindful Manners. This is actually written after my son Micah.
Mm-hmm.
So my son, I have a son named Micah, and you know, he's always like, thank you, Mom, and please, and you're welcome. So I made a book about manners for little kids. So it's really cute book. It teaches kids about manners. I mean, you can use this with little toddlers. Like my son's getting ready to go to preschool next month, and I'm like, I'm gonna give his teacher this Micah's Manners book. And then I was like, well, maybe I should wait till his birthday, and then I can give all the kids a Micah's Manners book, like for a birthday gift.
Right,
I
yeah.
love giving people books, though.
Cake, ice cream, and Micah's Mindful
Yeah,
Manners.
since you can't give out food and cookies and
Right,
stuff.
word up.
So, yeah. But this is the Built Strong on Purpose book. This is my thickest book that I've written. It's 5 chapters. It's a really quick read.
Okay.
It's all about physical and spiritual strength. So this is an excellent book. It's on Amazon. All of my books are not on Amazon, but a lot of people, they just purchase books from me when I come out. I self-publish all my books. So I'm not with a publisher. No one owns my books, just me. And I just self-publish with, you know, I just go to a printing company.
So Built Strong on Purpose was your first book.
My first book.
What's the advantage of, you say going to a printing company? What is that?
You know, I've heard a lot of, I don't want to say horror stories about people owning other people's books, but I've been told that, you know, you get turned down a lot, and you know, I've tried to reach out to Scholastics to get my children's books into Scholastics so kids can order them, but it was like they won't even talk to me unless I have a literacy agent.
Right.
So I've been trying to find a literacy agent. It's just it just seems a lot harder to get. Like, I would love for my books to be in the stores,
Right.
and I'm not sure how to do that. So I'm trying to figure that out. So
Okay.
but that is the goal. I would love to get my books into stores because I think it's very beneficial. Like this A to Z Future Careers. I'm a teacher, and you know, kids really don't know what they want to be, and they only I feel like they only know what they see.
Right.
So they only know, okay, a police officer or a teacher or work at a doctor. That's it. Or a lot of students are like, I want to be a singer, a rapper, or play basketball. So I'm like, okay, you all need to know that there's a lot more jobs out there.
Right.
So this book is A to Z Careers, and it just teaches children about a lot of different career choices. And I would like even want to make another one of these because there's still so much more that's not even covered in this book, but this is at least 26 different careers that you can learn about.
I like the artwork. Who did the artwork?
Me.
You do all the artwork. Great.
Only in this book, and it's like I had to purchase like a subscription from a company that sells the clip art and the you get like, I forgot what it's called. I think it's Betsy.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen the advertisements
So you
for
can
it.
go on there and you can just buy your own clip art because there's like probably millions of people that just put their artwork out there so others can buy it.
Okay.
So that's what I did. So I did all of my illustrations in this book. My other children's book, I had an illustrator do them, but this is my only one that I actually did all of the art.
I like it. I think it's dope. Yeah, it looks good. That looks good.
Thank you. I love it. It's very
That was the second book?
diverse.
Or which?
Actually,
where was
so
that in the?
This is the first book.
Okay.
The Built Strong on Purpose, and then this is the second book. This is A to Z Alliterations, and this is teaching children all about alliterations, and they even learn this even in 4th and 5th grade. Kids learn about alliterations, and it's I'll give you an example. Like I have a daughter named Scotland, and one of my son's names is Sal. So if you go to S, it says Sal and Scotland shyly sang sweet songs so softly. So with the S, every word has to start with an S in that sentence. So it's really cool because I use like all of my family members' names in this book. It was so easy to write. Like Micah.
Right.
Micah made mega mighty mountains move magically. And what's really cool too is like on every page there's like pictures that the kids can color.
I see.
So
that
if you
also
have
go
little
with
kids-
the stories and the
Yeah, if you have little kids, they can color, and then you can teach them about uppercase and lowercase. And then this is the main focus, and that's for older kids. But the little kids love it because it's cute, the stories are funny, and it's colorful. And then in the back, the older kids can write their own alliterations.
Very cool.
So in the back,
Shouts
they can-
out.
Yeah, I love kids interacting. Like I can't have a book without interaction. So
Right.
and like even with the A to Z future careers, in the back, it's a A to Z for the kids to write their own ideas from A to Z. They can come up with their own careers in the back.
Yeah.
And then it says list 3 careers that interest you, and it says here's an extra line in case you change your mind, because we change our minds. Like I wanted to be a nurse. I'm not a nurse. I went to the Navy. I'm not a sailor anymore. We evolve and change. Like my son is in college, and he said he wants to be a doctor in orthopedic, which is in here too. And I told him, I said, and if you change your mind, that's okay.
Right.
You do not have to have your whole life planned out just because you graduated high school. You don't. So if you like to change your mind, go for it. It's okay. No one's mad. No one's disappointed in you. Just be something. Be someone. Be great at whatever you choose to be.
Now I want to get to the educational part, because as a teacher, how did you make that jump? Where'd that switch come from?
When I was in the Navy, we had a sailor program, like a mentoring program. And we would go to schools that had at-risk children. And so I remember going to this elementary school and meeting a group of kids that were at risk, that were getting in trouble at school, that were not making good choices, that their grades were not the best. And so we were kind of like mentoring them and being that inspiration for them. And us being young too, like I was only 19, 20 years old. So they kind of looked up to us as, like a leader, like, oh, She's doing great. I remember the little girl. I remember her name was India. I remember picking her up so many times. She even spent the night at my house. I would take her to the mall. Like, we would just hang out, and we just kind of built a friendship.
Right.
And so I was like, and I didn't have kids at the time. So I was like, okay, I think I like this little girl. You know, I was like, this is cool.
Right.
And so when I was getting out, I was like, I'm not sure what I want to do. I said, maybe I might want to be a teacher. So I went back and I earned my associate's degree from Wabanzi Community College. And then I went to Aurora University, and that's where I earned my bachelor's in education. And then I went to NIU and earned my master's in 2012. And now I'm currently working on my doctoral degree, which is going to take a long time. That program is 5 to 7 years long. And so I'm in my second year. So I will be Dr. Soldana in about 5 more years.
Good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So, what year did you become a teacher?
In 2006.
2006. Okay.
2006. So I was in the Navy from 1998 till 2002. And then when I was finished, I went to Wabanzi, earned my associate's in 2 years, and then my bachelor's. So,
okay.
Yep, that adds up to 2006. And then when I was in the teaching, I was teaching second grade for 7 years. I started my master's program.
Okay.
And finished in 2012.
Nice. Now, you teach for 204.
District 204, yep. I've been there
Good
since
district.
2006.
Yeah, shouts
Still
out.
there. Woohoo!
Shouts out.
District 204 in the house.
I graduated from Wabanzi High School.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Okay, good.
What's the best thing about being a teacher?
For me, it's seeing growth. It's seeing children grow. Like, oh my gosh, I've worked with so many different children.
Mm-hmm.
Children that are below grade level and children that are way beyond grade level.
Right.
And so for me, it's to see them grow in that year. Like, wow, I'm amazed at your writing, or oh my gosh, you can do this on your own now. It's just, I love to see growth.
Right.
You know, so that's I like that. I love teaching kids, but for them to show where they were to the end of the year is that's for me. I love that part. So.
What's the biggest impact COVID has had on your life?
You know what? COVID gave me the ability to write these books. These books, all three of, well, actually, this is one of my books too. It's A to Z fruits and vegetables, and it actually.
That's also like cottonseed.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. It teaches children about fruits and vegetables, and the reason why I even came out with this book, I was tutoring this 4th grader, and this 4th grader was not able to read at grade level. I think he was like reading at like a 1st grade level.
Sure.
So I was like asking the little one, I said, what is your favorite fruit? And he was like, I don't know, I don't eat fruit. And I was like, well, what's your favorite vegetable? I don't know, I don't eat vegetables. I was like, seriously, what is your favorite fruit? And he really did not know. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Right.
I was like, I need to get, this information out to kids. Because, we see our average, our basic fruits and vegetables. What are the common ones we always see? An apple, banana,
tomatoes.
Grapes. Yeah. And, vegetables, your carrots, your corn, your broccoli, that's about it. So A to Z is like 26 different fruits and 26 different vegetables. So this is an educational book too. I believe in teaching kids, this is what's important. We need this.
I see the overt educational teaching and aspect of it, because I think 2 of the books you just showed are A to Z books.
Yeah. Actually, 3 of them.
3 of them.
This is the A to Z alliteration.
Alliterations, future careers, and then fruits and vegetables, right.
And I'm not done. Like, I've thought about doing like A to Z sports and A to Z places to visit, like just to get kids to think.
Right.
And to see that the world there's so much more than what we see. Like, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It's like the world is huge and amazing, and knowledge is everything. Knowledge is everything. So.
You think you would have had that perspective if you didn't join the Navy?
I don't know. I mean, you know, and this is me being totally honest. As a child going to school, I don't have any really great memories about school. I don't remember my teachers. I don't remember why school was important. When I think about elementary, I can't tell you any teacher that I had. I don't know if I blocked it out of my mind. I can't, it's like erased, gone. So, for me being a teacher, I think I try to really impact kids in a major way that's going to impact them forever. And they're going to remember Mrs. Soldana, you know, because she really loved and cared for me. You know, I want kids to remember I try to be a great teacher, because I don't remember that for me. I don't remember why school was important. I just remember going because my mom told me to go. I don't remember why it's so important. And so I guess geography, I just missed that. I remember having to memorize the 50 states.
Right.
I'm not sure why, but yeah, that was a requirement, I remember. And I was like, okay, I have to memorize these, and I've never been anywhere, so I'll do it. But
right.
When you just don't make any personal connections or have purpose with it, it's kind of just like, why am I doing this?
Right.
And my son is so good at that. Mom, why am I doing this? I'm never going to use this ever in my life. He's good at pointing that out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is,
you think, though. You think.
Yeah.
Think you won't use it in life. That's the...
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what's next? Any books in the oven?
Someone has asked me to do a special needs book.
Okay, because you mentioned you're not done.
I'm definitely not done writing books. I kind of just slowed down because I was a little overwhelmed. Last year during COVID, like these two books came out. This one, these two books are very, very new. These just came out last January. Mm-hmm. Just this past January 2021.
Okay.
So they've been out for about 6 months. These are very new. And I was teaching at home in my basement when the school year started, and I was like, okay, I'm taking one doctoral class.
Right.
And teaching from home, and I felt like I had a lot of breaks and I could do homework and hop back on and teach my kids. And so I was like, 7 years is a long time to complete a doctoral program. Let me take on another class so I can speed up the process, because I just like to get things done. So I took 2 doctoral classes and was in the middle of writing 2 books. And I thought I was going to lose it because I was at home during COVID, and then the district says, we need you back in school. I'm like, oh, no.
Right.
I was just like, no, this is messing up all of my reading time, my homework time. And yeah, it was very, very overwhelming. And I learned my lesson that just because other people are taking 2 classes at a time, that does not work for me.
Right.
So other people in their doctoral program, they're not married, they don't have kids, and they're single, and they can do that. But me, I have a house full of children, and I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and I just can't do it. I'm teaching, I can't write books. It was just way too much, and so I will never take 2 classes at a time. So COVID did allow me to write these children's books, and I did write these 2 during COVID too. So all of my children's books I was able to write because of COVID, because I was at home and I had time to think and I had time to write, and yeah, that's been great. I love my books, mm-hmm. and I'm glad I wrote them. I had an opportunity to interview for a middle school position.
Okay.
When COVID started, what was that? Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
Coming up.
Yeah, and this was like at the end of when COVID happened in that March and everything got shut down and schools were closed. that opportunity for the upcoming school year was presented and was like, here's a middle school position available. We'd like to interview you. And so I interviewed and I didn't get the job. And I thank God that I didn't get the job, because if I would have taken the middle school job, these books would have not come forth, because I would have been trying to learn middle school curriculum.
Of course.
Yeah, and so
which would have consumed all the time it took.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure if I would be in my doctoral program. So when God shuts a door, new doors open. So I'm glad that door was shut.
Right.
I didn't understand at the time, and I was like, why did this opportunity come? And then why did I not get it? I didn't understand, but now I do understand.
What exactly does built strong on purpose mean?
Built strong on purpose. So the major thing is the cross here. Built strong on purpose is relying on Christ. It is all centered around the Word of God. This is another book I have not told you about, but this is called 30 Prayers for Families. Mm-hmm. And this is actually a book that my husband and my children and myself, we all wrote together. So like on Facebook, we used to do like recorded live Facebook lives where we would get our Bibles out and read the Word together with my children, and we would talk to the people on Facebook, like, what do you think this means, and how do you apply this? And then so we took, our studies and made a book into it. So this is a book for families, and it actually teaches you how to pray for others, for yourself, for different topics. Like this one is pray for your friends. So it gives you scriptures. Mm-hmm. And then on the next page, it actually has a model prayer for you. So if you don't know how to pray, it's a prayer for you. And then it says, okay, create a list of friends you can pray for. What is your family asking God to do for your friends? Right. And then on the next page, you can actually write out that prayer for your friends. So there's like 30 different topics. And this is very interactive with your family, especially if you are trying to have a closer relationship with Christ and you would like to teach your family or your children about Christ. This is an excellent book to do together. So it's not just me do it by myself, but it is, come on family, let's pray. Let's talk about this word. Let's interact. Let's talk about this. Let's write it down. And then in the back is really cool too, because it says God answers back, keep track. So when your prayers are answered, you can write what happened, what did you pray for, right, and how did God respond to that. So, I love the interaction with the books. This Built Strong on Purpose is very interactive too. There's a place, there's things for you to do, scriptures to memorize. There's a place for you to write down your ideas, mm-hmm, take notes. So I love the interaction. Like there's a little quiz in the beginning, a pre and post quiz. So, the teacher came out, I was like, okay, we gotta, right, I need you to get involved, because people just can't sit for a long time and your mind will wander if you're just sitting, mm-hmm, and you're not engaged and you're just listening to someone. So I'm always I love interaction. I love talking to people. I love talking to kids. So I'm always like, if I am teaching the kids, it's never just me lecturing and talking the whole time. I'm like, so what do you think? Well, what would you do? And, so I'm always like, yeah, my class is always loud, which is fine.
Since doing this show, I've met counselors and social workers and teachers. You're the first author teacher, I believe. Oh. But I'm able to see now. So you spoke about your school experience and the outlook and what you were thinking at that time. I'm able to see now the deficiencies in what I'll call typical education back then. Because I look at you and I'm like, you're a much more engaged person, which would make you a better teacher. I think about the social workers I met, they're much more engaged people, mm-hmm, which makes them more effective. And I kind of wish, man, if there was teachers like this when I was young, or for yourself probably.
Yeah.
It seems like you're trying to be the kind of teacher that you didn't have.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that that's so crucial. And so I'm saying all that to say that I have a better and a more positive outlook on education presently and the future. I think I'm looking and I see, I think, a better experience for young people.
Awesome. I mean, I have students come back, like, and they'll find me on Facebook, and they'll be like, oh my gosh. You know, like, they're like, I'm
Miss
in
Soldana,
college.
what up? Yeah.
Yeah, and I've had some of my students graduate during college, and they'll say, can I interview you?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say, you know, you were my favorite teacher. And, like, I have kids that are in middle school, they'll send me a message and say, you gave me the best experience of my life. Me and so-and-so and so-and-so, we still talk about you now. And I just, like, that's great. I love hearing stories. Like, I was just at Calvary Church last year, I think around Christmas time, and I actually saw one of my students, Josh Sheen. He's from China, and when he came to school, he could not speak any English. And I was, I think it was like my second year of teaching, and they brought him into my class, and they said, Mrs. Soldana, this is Josh Sheen, and he does not speak English. And they left, and I was like, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I just had all the kids sit in front of me, and I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, I need to help this little fella, you know? Because that's like us being in a class and everyone's speaking Chinese, and you're sitting there like,
Right.
what are they talking about? So, a long story short, I saw him at church, and he was just like, thank you so much. He's
Calvary's
like,
your church home?
yeah.
Okay.
In Naperville. So he was just like, thank you so much, Mr. Soldana. You were my first American teacher, and I learned so much from you. And he's just very thankful, and he's like in high school now, so you just don't see that. And so it was just really cool to see. So
what's something America needs more of?
compassion.
Okay.
Compassion and just being kind to one another. I always tell my students, be kind to people. Be kind. I said, because there's a lot of unkind people. I said, even adults are unkind. I'm like, and you know, this is something you learn when you're a child. So what happened? Did they not get that lesson? So I always just really stress to be kind. Like in my classroom, like in the front of the board, like if I'm teaching, right above my head it says be kind.
Right.
So you're looking at me, you're always going to say, you'll read that, be kind.
Right.
Like, be kind. Why not? Why are you being mean? Like, why?
So what's next? What's next for Stacy Soldana?
Working on my doctoral program.
Working on a doctoral program.
And I would like to write more books when I have time.
More books.
But really just focusing on my doctoral program. I'm potty training my 3-year-old. He is going to preschool next month, and we just actually got a new puppy too. And so he has to learn how to go potty train. Like, our house is busy.
Good.
We have a busy house. So.
Good. A busy and blessed household.
Come on now, tell it. A busy, blessed household. That's what I like. I like that.
Yeah, BBH.
Hashtag BBH.
Exactly, right? That's the new ish. We just started that right now.
Yes,
Hashtag,
BBH.
yep.
Hey.
Okay, the show ends on a positive note. What is your message today to the people of Aurora?
Never stop learning. Never stop learning. It does not matter how old you are, how young you are. If you're 80 or 90, you are not done yet. If you're still here, you still have a purpose. So always keep learning. No matter what, keep going, keep moving forward. Learn and be great.
On behalf of Good Morning Aurora, we appreciate you coming in to
so
talk to us, and we wish you the absolute best, and we wish much success for Built Strong on Purpose, Micah's Mindful Manners, and everything else that you have done and continue to do.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here, and thank you for the opportunity to be on your show.
No problem. We will see you guys back next episode. Peace.